Okay. Okay, so on our donor conference call today, we have our three mentors who will introduce themselves and give insights into their club. We'll delve into a panel discussion for about 30 minutes. And following that, we'll open up the floor to Q&A, and the call will officially end at the top of the hour. So here we are. With no further ado, let's meet our wonderful mentors, Prosper, Fwilane, and Racheal. So starting with you, Prosper, if you're managing to hear us and you can speak, please
Prosper
introduce
will be
yourself.
on in a little while. So we're going to start with Racheal or Fwilane, and he's driving here to use our network, and I'll put him on as soon as he arrives.
Thanks, Priscilla. Thank you for the update. So Fwilane, do you want to do your introduction, please?
Thank you very much, and hi, everybody. Just like Wendy has said, my name is Fwilane Banda January. From Zambia in Mfue. I work for a charitable organization called Project Luangwa. I've been living and working in Mfue for the last 9 years and been mentoring from 1 club to 6 clubs now, up to 16 other satellite clubs that I give support in terms of capacity building. Yeah, so that's a bit about myself.
Thanks, Fwilane. And Racheal?
Hi, everyone. So my name is Racheal Mzonda. I work from Livingston Believe Girls Club. I have been with working under the Global Giving Circle under Believe Girls Club for 6 years now. We have 3 clubs in Livingston, 1 alumni and 2 high school clubs. Yeah, that's about me. Thank you.
Right, thanks, Racheal. When Prosper joins, we will ask him to introduce himself. So we had our recent Mentors Meetup at the beginning of February, and it was held in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. It was truly inspiring, and it was an impactful time. During this gathering brought together the majority of our mentors from across Zimbabwe and Zambia, covering various topics ranging from mentoring, ranging from monitoring and evaluation to sexual and reproductive health, and even featuring some lively dancing. And maybe someone will offer to do a dance for us or a demonstration. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe Racheal. We also have a blog that Suzanne Firth, one of our volunteers, had written, and it is on our website. And Devin may post a link to that blog, which covers what happened at the Mentors Meetup. So we got Racheal, Prosper, and Fwilane. We're still waiting for Prosper. Who's going to share with us the personal impact. What was the personal impact of the meetups, and what do the meetups mean to them? So we're going to start with you, Racheal. What is the meetups? What is the personal impact of the meetup for you, and what does it mean to you?
Hi, everyone, again. Thank you, Wendy. So looking back from when I joined GSGC in 2018, the first meetup that I went to, I think must have been 2019 or so. I was so quiet. I didn't know what to do. Every time people would talk, and I would look at them and think, oh my God, these people are so confident. I wish I can be like them one day. And through the meetups, I have learned so much. And coming back to this meetup that we had in February, I was so excited because I became one of the facilitators, which was so different from the past few years, because the past few years I was just mainly an spectator, learning from others and learning to run the clubs and looking at how other people have achieved and how they are managing their clubs. But here I am 6 years later, standing tall, being confident, speaking to people. I wasn't shivering. So I feel like it has impacted me so much, because it has helped me so much, even with public speaking, gaining my confidence and just becoming a different person. I know to other people, the meetups might seem like, oh, well, it's just a meetup. But for me personally, I've seen the growth that I've had in the past 6 years, and all the meetups that I go to, I'm a different person and I'm growing personally. I grow in mentorship, I grow confidence-wise, the way I talk is different. I am not afraid to raise up my hand anymore as a mentor and to participate, or I don't look down on myself anymore to think that if I were to participate, people are going to look down on me and think, oh, well, what does she know? But through these meetups, I've felt loved. I felt like people look up to me, and I felt like I'm seen. I feel seen, because at the end of the day, for them to look at me and say, oh, well, we've noticed you love working with the alumni. Would you like to facilitate on the alumni? So I feel like that's a lot of personal impact on me, because I see a lot of growth in myself through these meetups. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you so much, Racheal. Lovely feedback. How about you, Fwilane? What is the personal impact of these meetups for you, and what do they mean to you?
Thank you very much, Wendy and everybody else. First of all, I would like to say that growing up, I wasn't a public speaker, but in the field I joined in, I became a public speaker, and working with the young people has been a great and thriving role in the community. So for me, I first attended the GSGC Meetup. It was in 2016. So the last 8 years, I've been able to attend the meetup with GSGC, and I've met different people with different caliber, different set of skills, and together we've grown. So for me, like this year, 2024 has been a very amazing. I would say 2023 was the most amazing year, because I was identified as one of the oldest mentors in the giving circle, and I had a great opportunity to lead in the 2023 meetup. So for me, being identified also is something great, and it has also raised the bar for me, because having other people looking up to how much I have grown in the system is very much amazing. So the personal impact that I've had is seeing myself grow, because every time we gather, it is an amazing time for the serious things that I learn, for the fun time that I have, and the safe space provided within, and all the chats with the others. It's not just for my work purposes, but it's also for my personal growth, because the interactions that I have most of the times develop a certain set of skills in me, such that even when I get back to my workspace, there are certain things that I improve, like even be able to articulate togetherness with other people, just building the team as well, with the benefits that I've gained after gathering with different people from different angles. So for me, it's been a great family, and it's been a journey worth not arriving, because I don't want to arrive, because it's a safe space for me. So I would summarize it by saying small is big. It might seem as if we're a small team, but the small things that we do, they've got a very big impact in the communities when we get back. Thanks very much, Wendy, and everyone else, for your time.
Thank you, Fwilane. Thank you for your contribution. And we've got this lovely image of you with this small girl woman with her fist going, you know, small and mighty. That's who you are, small and mighty to us. Prosper, I believe, is on the call now. Prosper, can you hear us? Can we hear you? Testing, Prosper. Hi, Prosper. We can hear you now, Prosper. Prosper, let us know where you're from, what club you're from, and then also can you follow through with sharing the personal impact of the meetups and what do they mean for you?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity and things as well. My name is Prosper from Victoria, and I work with Sisonke Trust, which is alumni. And
Prosper,
so
Prosper, you're breaking up a bit. Sorry about that. You're breaking up a little bit.
I think we should wait for Prosper to arrive. This is Priscilla. I've been at every meetup. Prosper, just come on into Fruses when you're here, and you'll be connected. But I want to say we've got two people on the call. Lori Bryant has been a longtime donor and supporter from Bainbridge Island. She got to be here at the beginning of the meetup, and we have Heather. I'm also on Bainbridge Island, who's been a key facilitator in one of our past meetups. I want to welcome you. You know what they're about. And I have to say, for all the meetups I've been to, I absolutely thought this was fantastic. These guys are owning this. And I feel like everything we've worked so hard for is coming alive through these mentors. And I just wanted to add those two bits. And as soon as Prosper is here, we'll pop him on the call.
Thanks, Priscilla. I'm going to put Gloria on the spot.
He's here. Prosper is here. Prosper's
here. Prosper arrived. Okay,
yeah.
Gloria.
Okay.
On standby. Prosper. Hello, Prosper. Can you hear us now?
Okay, hello everyone. Sorry about that. The network is just unstable, but now I think maybe we're good. Okay, my name is Prosper Spambili from Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe.
Hi, Prosper. Can you hear you loud and clear?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, so I work with Sisonke Trust and Ituba Alumni Club, and Sisonke Trust is located in the outskirts of Victoria Falls, in a village called Monde. And it's a rural setup. And I've been part of GSGC for the past 6 years, and this will be the 7th year in a couple of months. And Sisonke Trust works with 2 boys club and a girls club. And the drive for the boys club to come into existence was to address the issues of gender equality, because there was a need to educate the boy child what gender equality means and what girl empowerment is, because most of the men did not understand, and most of the boys did not understand what girl empowerment is, because they thought girl empowerment is taking power, you know, from men and giving it to the girl child. And with the alumni club, this is Tuba Club, which is still a baby, which started this year, at the beginning of this year. So our main objectives is to work with the alumni that come from all of the clubs, and we ensure that they are world ready, ensure that they are able to look for a suitable college where we have them, where we give them skills, career guidance, and a whole lot of things about 21st century, you know, skills that they need to develop themselves so that they are world ready. and practical within the community where they'll be working. So to attend to respond to the question, the first question, the meetup has been one of the most exciting places that, you know, mentors, when we come together, you know, it has developed me in such a big way, in such an awesome way. It has made me to discover my true identity and being a true mentor, because most of the times when you come in as a new mentor, what happens is you think, you know, you are the best, but you are, you know, you're above. And then when you meet other mentors, that's when you begin to discover that, wow, you know, each and every person is unique in their own special way. And when we have this meetup, you know, it's a space where I'm inspired by the work that they're doing, a place where I learn, you know, the best practices on the work that we do, you know, or the things that works and what does not work. You know, most of the organizations, you know, they come in, you know, into the locales. You know, sometimes they just drop in a document and, you know, they'll say, implement these things. And then the moment they stop funding, you know, that organization stops to function. So now with what the GSGC is doing for us to come and meet up, this is when mentors, you know, come up with the best practices that they would have done in the field, and then we come together and we develop something that will make the GSGC or the partners within GSGC to be able to understand and to be able to solve the problems that are within their community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prosper. Glad you can join us and have good network now. And thank you for your valuable contribution to all three of you. As we move on to our next question, we're reflecting on the recent meetup. What were some of the key takeaways or learnings that you have implemented within your clubs to further empower the work you're doing with the girls and the boys? So, Fwilane, can we start with you, then Racheal, then Prosper? So we want to know, what are your key takeaways and learnings that you've implemented in your clubs from this meetup?
Thank you very much, Wendy and everyone else. So the key things for me will be, for example, simplicity has been one of the key things every time I get to meet with the other mentors, because with the guidance and the guidelines and the giving circle, that organizations, as much as we have our own system, but there's a simple way in which we can maneuver around to implement activities, and so the community can be able to understand us as implementers, as well as how the community is going to benefit. So for me, the most key is, I wouldn't just say that it's just this meetup, but all the meetups that I've been able to attend, I've learned simplicity as in one of the very most important keys. So it's not as it sounds as a word, but being able to be out there in the community that is going to understand what you're doing, and them also to understand why you're bringing in that intervention within themselves and making things last. This is why I always use the term small is big. So as an individual, I'm able to tap into seeing the impact of whatever I'm doing. It's starting with one individual to two individuals to 30 to 200 to more than that, but it starts all small. So for me, a summary of all the meetups and this one, learning the systems as well, more especially the last 2 years, we as mentors have identified the systems that we want to move on with as we grow wider, that we need a certain system that we can have as a community. So I've also learned the systems, to put the systems in place and be able to advance with them. So this calls to say that all of us will be on a certain level, as much as we coming from different organizations, but we have a setup system that we are all following. So for me, those could be the most keynote things that I would identify, and also having the willpower to be able to implement the activities according to maybe the aspect that the community is set. Everything is not standardized, but it's how the cultural and traditional practices where I'm coming from, but we meet at a certain level of maybe the implemented goals, identifying the certain targeted goals that we would want to implement as a set of the community in the given circle. So those are some of the takeaway things that I've like moved with in the last couple of years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fwilane. Sounds like these meetups have great value to you. That not only impacts your club, but also the way you work in your community. Moving on to Racheal, will you please let us know what are your key takeaways and learnings that you've implemented within your club to empower your work as you work with the girls?
Hey everyone, and thank you, Wendy. So, as Fwilane has said quite a number of things, but for us, when it comes to our club, the key notes that we've taken from the meetups to help our club was, one of them was the curriculum development. It was very nice to see how others have created a curriculum that they follow for their clubs. Of course, we had something that we were following, but it was nice to see learn from Sisonke to see how well they've done it and how well they've put it on paper. And it's easier because even if, for example, Gloria and I were not there, anybody can easily pick up from where we've left off and easily move on and take over the club. So it's a situation whereby we learned about sustainability and key aspects that we can do to make sure that our clubs are sustainable and are there in the long run for the coming years. I also got to learn about the importance of M&E for us, like the real importance of M&E. Like we were struggling a little bit with the spreadsheets, but having a lesson with Kalinda where she sat down and took time to sit with each and every one of us during the meetup. And then she also had this whole presentation explaining to us the importance, some of the things that she was asking us for, like during the M&E reporting every quarter. Sometimes we wouldn't understand the importance, but seeing her put them together and explain to us how important they are and the role that they play in developing our clubs and making sure that our clubs are sustainable, it made a lot of sense to me. And taking back to our club, I think Gloria and I are going to work harder to make sure that we put everything in record. So that was a keynote for us because sometimes you don't realize the importance of something until someone shows you how it's been moving. Like just showing us with the Believe Girls Club, for example, letting us know that M&E has taught us, can show us to say that, oh, in the few years we've not had any pregnancies and it's because of this and that we've been doing in the past years. So learning about all that was amazing, and that was something that me and Gloria and I think myself learned, and we're taking back to the club, and we're going to make sure that we implement that to make sure that our club we have to know, like maybe we are able to know whether we are making mistakes or maybe we are doing the right thing. So it was very good for us because we were also learning from people like who've been in the clubs longer, like Fwilane, just to see how they've been doing it for a very long time and how they are managing. And we had questions about things that maybe we've been struggling with, and then we had people who've been there for a longer time, like Nika, other people who are running clubs in different environments. We were able to learn from them and see how we can move forward. We learned something amazing this time. We've seen a lot of people doing gardening. So that's something that we are trying out as well as a club, just to see how it would be nice to grow something and eat it. We really admire hearing about how it's been amazing for their clubs to do different activities and how it benefits them. So for us, it was very big, and we learned a lot from there. Even the alumni, learning from Ituba, because we learned about Ituba and how they are running the program. It's also a key thing that will help us to run our alumni club and know what we are doing, what we're doing wrong, and how maybe we can improve our alumni, and to make sure that we help them with skills. So all in all, I think a lot of things that we learned during the meetup have been very, very helpful, and we've brought them back to our club and want to see how we can implement them and how they can help our club, and maybe we can see us grow like other clubs have been growing. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Racheal. Thank you for your contribution. And Prosper, as we move to you, can you let us know what are your key takeaways and learnings that you've implemented within your clubs? Because now you've got the two clubs, the alumni and the boys club. Over to you. Let us know what your key takeaways and learnings are.
Thank you very much, Wendy. My key takeaways, during those meetups and during the past meetup, there's one thing that really I really, really admire. I share the same sentiments with what Fwilane said and with what Racheal said. Everyone is unique in their own way, and that's very special, and that's precious. Look at Fwilane. If you want to know more about menstrual hygiene, you go to her. If you want to know more about conservation and or environment awareness, you know that there is Tikobane. So each and every partner, has got their own unique way on how they solve the problem that's within their community. And each and every time, each and every practice that they share with us, that's what we go and incorporate within the curriculum that we have. And if you look at it, one of the things that we learned during the meetup was the importance of developing a defined program that achieves the goals of the club, because each and every club has a goal. So what happens is Kalinda was giving us, about monitoring and evaluation toolkit. So when you develop a program to achieve your club, you marry it with the monitoring and evaluation toolkit, so that you are well able to measure the progress, that you are well able to measure whether you're achieving the goal. Take, for instance, each club, has got a similar or same goals, for example, like academic excellency. So if you want to measure academic excellency, there are certain topics that you need to put in place. Take, for example, if this quarter you say, you want to achieve academic excellency, and then you do, for example, comprehension, or you do a literature quiz, and you do it once. And then at the end of the term, when they come with the report, and then these guys, maybe, for example, the club members would have not done very well, you go back to the monitoring evaluation toolkit, you check and say, how many times did you incorporate, academic excellency within that whole quarter? So now you begin to see that, you begin to evaluate yourself and begin to measure that there are certain programs that you need to begin to instill, or that you need to begin to do within the club, so that you're able to achieve the goal of academic excellency. And that's one of the key key takeaways that really, really, really helped me to begin to view things in a different way, especially in the Sisonke and the alumni club. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Prosper. Thank you to everyone for your key takeaways and learnings. We're going to switch over a bit and open the floor up to your questions and answers. You're welcome to raise your hand and let us know if you've got any questions you want to direct to our mentors on the line. And while you're thinking about your questions, I want to put Gloria on the spot and ask Gloria, do you have any takeaways that you would like to include that Racheal mentioned? Or do you have anything else you want to add to Racheal's key points?
I think Racheal has mentioned almost everything. Maybe the only thing I can say about the meetups, each and every meetup, each and every year, there's a difference, and we are learning, exploring life at the meetup, and we are building a network of family amongst ourselves. And each and every year we meet, there's something that just changes within us. There's a growth in ourselves, looking at what other clubs are doing, what other mentors are doing. It gives you hope, it gives you courage to keep on moving forward, such that when you go back home, you're excited for another meetup next year, different expectation of what you're going to learn new about these meetups. So the meetups, it's all about the growth. That's the reason I always don't like missing them. It's about the growth. It's about the impact within ourselves. It's about encouraging one another. It's about us seeing these clubs going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria. Has anyone got some questions? Paige, you always have a question. Do you have anything you would like to ask?
Thanks, Gloria. I am just so impressed to hear about the meetup every year that they are held. And there's just so much growth coming out of this. I'm especially happy to hear about the gardening that Gloria and Racheal are trying. I can't wait to hear about it. And all the clubs, all that's happening in the clubs. I don't think that's a question, but I'm just so, so impressed.
Thank you, Paige. Anyone else got a question, a comment, something you'd like to add?
This is Lori. Hi, I have a comment. This is my first time I've zoomed in, and it's really wonderful. I had the good fortune of being with the mentors very briefly at the meetup, but prior to that, had a great chance with Racheal and Gloria, and chatted offline with Fwilane and others. And I just have to say, as someone who has been around the Priscilla and the others, this was so inspiring to see everyone travel from distances to learn, to share best practices, to understand all the nuances of each person's club. Yeah, I was re-inspired by what the work you all are doing in your communities. So thank you for including me, an outsider, and for showing me love. And I look forward to coming back and meeting up with you again. And go Bainbridge Island, right, Heather?
Thank you so much, Lori. Heather, over to you. And Lori, before we move over to Heather, thank you so much for your support over the years. And that goes to everybody on the call. You've been very wonderful supporters. We thank you for that. Heather, over to you.
Thank you. I have a couple of comments and then a question. My first comment would be that it's amazing to watch the pictures of this last meetup scroll as the mentors were talking and realize how much the organization has grown over the last 5 to 6 years, and particularly through a global pandemic. The last time that I was there was in 2018 and had the privilege of participating in what was then an auntie meetup. And the group was much smaller. It was all women. It was powerful and wonderful. And I think, we got some foundational pieces in place, but it's so exciting to see how the organization has grown, to see how it is being led from within. It's just really heartwarming and inspiring. My second comment is related to that and a little bit more personal, which is to say to Wendy, it's also really wonderful to see how you have grown in this organization, and the additional responsibilities that you've taken on and have really owned and really have just done such an incredible job. I feel very lucky to have some perspective on the past and then to see where things are going. So my question for the mentors and for Wendy and for Priscilla and whoever would like to answer this is I'd be curious to know sort of what your thoughts are for the future, for the near future, or longer. A lot of the feedback has been about kind of what you're doing right now, and I'm just kind of curious to know what your hopes are, what your vision is, moving forward over the next few years.
Fwilane, would you like to tackle that? What is the vision? What is your vision?
Thanks very much. And hi, Heather. Thank you so much for that question. The future for me looks very equal. It's people leveling the ground on bringing in gender equality. And I feel and think as an advocate for the last 15 years, is that we are at the level where we are bridging the gap of inequality, and we have identified as mentors, as the Giving Circle community, that education is the equalizer to everything that you want to do in future. So us wanting to have young people who are going to be high achievers in academic excellence gives them the opportunity to also bridge the gap in terms of inequality and gender equality. So I believe that the future, 5 years from now, is becoming even. We have people who are talking to boys, we have people who are talking to girls. As Heather puts it, that in the last years, the gatherings were all female empowered. And I think with time, we have all realized to say, just having conversations with one gender will not equalize and will not brighten the future. We all need to get to the table and discuss issues of development. If we're not going to sit on the same table and talk about development, then we are just doing half the job. So if we want to see equality coming to pass, we want to see girls getting empowered because of education, we need the voice of the male also to be there. And bringing the men to the table and bringing the men into the Giving Circle community is proving it that 5 years from now, we are bringing in change that is going to equalize and add on to the voice of the fifth development goal, the fifth sustainable development goal. We are getting there, and we are also changing the narrative, because we are not just going to sit and sulk in our problems, but we are saying these problems are no longer being part of the community, but we are all bringing out all these achievements. Seeing young people graduating as doctors, as nurses, as ecologists, as teachers, and then we've come this far. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Thank you, Fwilane. Racheal or Prosper, do you have anything to add to what Fwilane has said?
Yeah, what Fwilane said was really true, and we are moving from impact to greater impact, because if you do not educate the boy child or the male you know, the system will be dysfunctional, because if we look at it, the communities that we are in, so many families are in dysfunctional families, that in dysfunctional homes. So the introduction of incorporating the he for she within the community, this helps men to understand, the issues of gender equality, because if gender equality, is incorporated in families, then the cycle of poverty is destroyed, because one of the main goals is to alleviate, the cycle of poverty. And let me tell you something, if you look at in our communities, what happens is that men usually, most of the times, they think they are superior than women, especially in the community that we work in. So now when we begin to engage and begin to engage them to come to the table to understand the issues that we are dealing with, they'll become a healthy environment for women to express themselves, women to stand up, women to be able to be financial independent. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prosper. Heather, does that answer your question?
It does. I think in terms of kind of the broad mission of the organization, one of the things that I was curious about is the sort of the future of the network. If mentors are feeling like the size is right, if they want to grow more, and any thoughts on that? So it's great to hear about the purpose and the vision and the mission. I'm also just kind of curious about the logistics of what that's going to, kind of what the network looks like over the next couple of years.
Priscilla, can I divert that to you? Yeah, with you having been with the mentors now extensively.
Well, I think that's what we're figuring out. And so it's like, stay tuned. And what is so cool is that they're now figuring it out. And, as you look at this picture here and you see these mentors, and these aren't all of the mentors, but there are, majority of them. And you think each one has 2 to 15 clubs. And so we've got a tremendous ripple effect out there. And we know deep mentorship makes a significant difference. We've seen, and study after study shows, that if you just give a scholarship and you don't have mentorship, it will only go so far. And so we, Heather, we can't say right now, but what's so exciting, we're in the middle of that process. And what's even more exciting is that instead of us trying to figure it out, in the US or somewhere, it's these guys, and they're coming together and talking about how large do we want this to be before we might want to share this story and inspire others to do this. Because this work, what is so magical and impactful about our work here is that it's of passion. This isn't a job. This is very different from other organizations. This is social entrepreneurship. And maybe one of the mentors can speak to that. And they even say that about the kids in their clubs. There's a thing called UMPH. And how big do you get before you lose some of that? And we know we can grow larger. But as Fwilane has said, and she might speak to this, because when she started out, it was like, oh, I want to be big. I want to, bigger is better. And she now, you can hear her often saying, small is big. And so you might say something on that, Fwilane. And but Heather, stay tuned. And what I am loving is that, and this is where I'm so grateful for every supporter on this call. Very few organizations are in this opportunity where the local people are leading the way. and our roots are deep. And so for me, we talk about having the girls have agency, but if you can see how these mentors have agency, and I can feel it, hopefully you can, and I know it, and hopefully you see it in the pictures and in their words, they're passing that on to the youth, and they're the ones now figuring this out. So stay tuned. But Fwilane, small is big.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. I just wanna also comment that as much as we all staying tuned to figure out what we are becoming, I can practically say that there's been a level of passing on the baton slowly within the network. I just want to assure you that, Heather, we've seen people coming to the front to be able to lead the discussion. And it's not just like Nika standing to the front, it's not just like Fwilane standing to the front. This year was super amazing because we had people like Racheal coming to the front to lead us through the entire session. So there is passing on of the baton and leadership. And to be honest, as we grow gradually, we just don't want to grow as fast as we can, but maintaining what is gonna have a bigger touch in the future. Thank you very much to everyone for the support and the patience that you have to see this baby growing. It's been an amazing journey, and I think all of us within this network, from the implementers perspective to the beneficiaries perspective to the donor aspect, we are very, very patient to see the greater things happening. But like I said, the future looks very even, from us as mentors to all the people that are receiving the benefits of everything that we share. And as we grow, indeed, it's very, very, very obvious that the little things that we do are growing bigger. And I continue to say that small will always be big. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fwilane. Ron, I see you had your hand up for a while. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I actually put my question in chat, and basically the question is there any attempt on the part of the group, the larger group, to kind of solicit and collect stories, both success stories and failures, to not only and centralize them, to not only learn, but to then perhaps kind of collate them together and take that larger story and put it out on a broader stage, disseminate the message of GSGC and the mentorship programs. In other words, story drives us all. It allows us to learn in a way that we are accustomed to. The story has been around forever. So that's my question: is there any effort to collect stories from the individuals within the groups and put them together?
So I'm going to pipe in here. This is Priscilla. And I've got Prosper, who I hope, and Racheal, who I hope will address this. And if Lisa weren't busy with her baby, I would have her jump on in a second. We were very blessed to have a grant that's been long overdue and has been, I feel, tremendous. I've been wanting this forever. And we've just come out of a 2.5-day storytelling workshop. And we had the right person guiding us. And as you can see, even on this call, we're very much about information, but we have hundreds of stories, and we haven't known how to express these. And so, this is a beginning of a new journey, and we had 7 or 8 of us together. It was a transformative experience, and I was I was part of this, and blessed to be. And we've known that one of our blocks is we haven't known how to tell this story. Anybody who comes into this orbit, they know something's different here. They know this impact is significant, but we've struggled to express it. And so it's going to take some time, but we're now finally on this journey, and I'm so blessed for the support to have had the beginning of this opportunity. I would love for Prosper and Racheal, who were part of this, to comment. And I'll say, stay tuned.
Thank you, Priscilla. So we had a 2.5-day workshop where we were learning about storytelling. And then most of us came to discover that for the past years, we've been giving out information instead of telling the story. So it was so amazing to sit down with Lisa and learn how amazing it is and how different it is to tell a story and to give out information. So I think in the next few months, you should expect us to tell the story more. We're going to tell the story from our heart. We're going to tell a story that will probably and hopefully move you and make you understand the work that we do and the impact that it has. So we came to realize our faults, and we are excited to try out something. We learned that we have been doing this wrongly for a very long time. We've been just giving out information, and maybe it hasn't been moving people as much as we expected it would. But having had this workshop and learning about how to give out a story and where the story starts from and what not to give out in the story was very, very educative, and it opened up our minds. And I hope that in the next stories that we'll give out, I'm sure you'll be able to tell the difference, to say this is a story now, and they're actually giving out a story of failures and successes. Yeah, so I guess Prosper can come in as well.
Oh, thank you very much. I think Racheal, you nailed it. You said everything, and but just to add on to what you said, every time we've been giving out information and not telling the story out well, and we came to a point whereby we realized that the smallest stories, they are very impactful, and some of those stories we were just not saying them out. But now we are going to introduce a bucket whereby each and every story that happens, we're putting it in the bucket, and you never know who will be touched by those stories. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Prosper, Racheal, Priscilla, for helping to answer Ron's question. We've reached the top of the hour. Can you believe it? It's been an hour of really amazing conversation. Holly still has a question, and she's asking for an example of work within the club that reaches into the larger community. Can we do a quick answer, Racheal? Quick answer that. Fwilane, can you do a quick answer? Prosper, if you can give one quick example, and then we need to end the call. So Racheal?
Hi, Wendy. Thank you. So for our community, so we've been doing, for example, we've been meeting with the schools. For us, we mainly work with the schools. So through the schools, we've been doing activities with the girls. The girls go back to their schools, and then they share, for example, information on menstrual hygiene. Whatever we teach them, they go back, they teach their classes. And we've been hearing from the guidance teacher to say, wow, your girls are learning so much, and we can tell to say they are improving. So we would want the school to add more girls to your club, though that adds on to our waiting list. But we can tell to say that the individual work that we've been doing with the schools, working with them, teaching the girls about menstrual hygiene, and them taking it back to the school has also been helping. We've also been participating with the cleanup in the community. I'm sorry, I know you only wanted one. We've also been participating with the cleanup in the community. So we clean with the community, and through cleaning with them, participating through the cleanup, the community are able to know who we are and what we do, and how we impact on their girls. Thank you.
Thanks, Racheal. Fwilane, do you have one example, please?
Yes, I do. I think for us, it's marking the very important international days on the calendar for the whole year. So the main keys are like the World Water Day, which is forthcoming next week, Friday. We go out in the community, and then there's the International Menstrual Hygiene Day, which comes in May. And then there's International Day of a Girl Child, which comes in October. And then there's the Human Rights Day, which falls in December. So highlighting the key important events on the calendar and sensitizing the community is one practical example that we have as clubs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Prosper, do you have one example?
Okay, for us, it's Isonke Trust. What we do is we are in a village, in a rural setups. What we do is we invite the village leaders within the community, and then we tell them the work that we do, and then they are the ones that go into the community and begin to give an awareness to the people within the community. And the other one is having the parents to come and have a meeting. I remember we had a meeting last year, the last year before, and we had only one male, but the last year meeting, we had 5 males and the others were women. So we see that there's an improvement within the community, that men are starting to understand the work that we do.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your engaging questions and the insightful discussions. Thank you once again for your unwavering commitment and generosity. Together, we can continue to harness the power of togetherness and mentorship to create a brighter future for all. So thank you so much for participating in today's call. We thank you for your generosity and your time for being with us. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.